I helped my friend get a job at my company, and 2 weeks later, he tried to get me fired. I wish I was joking, but what he did after that was even worse. About 6 months ago, my friend Mark was constantly complaining about being broke. Every single conversation somehow turned into the same rant. No one is hiring. Every job wants 5 years of experience. People only get hired if they have connections. The irony was, I actually did have a connection. I worked at a logistics company. Nothing glamorous, but stable. Good pay, predictable hours, decent management. And at that exact moment, we were hiring. I told Mark about it one evening while we were grabbing food. His entire mood changed instantly. "Wait, seriously?" he said. "Yeah," I told him, "but I'd have to recommend you." He leaned forward like I had just offered him a winning lottery ticket. "Bro, please, just get me an interview. I'll handle the rest." Now here's the risky part. When you recommend someone at our company, your reputation is tied to them. If they turn out terrible, it reflects badly on you. But Mark and I had known each other for years, so I figured, why not help him out? The next morning, I talked to my manager. I told him Mark was hardworking, reliable, and quick to learn. Honestly, I oversold him a little. My manager trusted me. 2 days later, Mark had an interview. 3 days later, he had the job. He called me that night sounding like he had just won the lottery. "Bro, you saved my life. I swear I owe you big time. You'll never regret this." Looking back now, those words aged horribly. His first week at work was pretty normal. I helped train him, showed him the software we use to track shipments, explained the inventory system, introduced him to the rest of the team. Everyone seemed to like him. He joked around, asked questions, worked hard. At least, that's what it looked like. But around the second week, something strange started happening. My manager began asking me weird questions. Small things at first. "Did you double-check the shipment adjustments yesterday?" "Yes," I said. Then a day later, he asked, "Are you sure you entered the warehouse corrections correctly?" Again, "Yes, I always double-check my work." At first, I assumed it was just routine management stuff, but then one morning, my manager asked me to step into his office. The tone felt different this time, serious. He closed the door behind me. Then he said something that honestly caught me off guard. "I've been hearing that there might be some mistakes in your reports." That immediately confused me, because mistakes are rare in my work. The system we use logs everything. So I asked him, what kind of mistakes? He pulled up a few examples. Inventory numbers being slightly off, shipment counts being adjusted. But here's the weird part. Every example was something I clearly remembered doing correctly. So I asked the obvious question, who reported these? My manager paused for a second. Then he said a name I honestly wasn't expecting. Mark. My own friend, the guy I had helped get hired. Apparently, Mark had been telling management that he kept finding mistakes in my work. He claimed he had to fix them multiple times. According to him, I was being careless. That hit me like a brick. Because it made absolutely no sense. Why would Mark do that? But then something clicked in my head. During his training, he had access to the same system where those mistakes appeared. So after the meeting, I walked straight to the IT department. Our system logs every single action, every change, every edit, every username. I asked the IT guy if he could pull the logs for the reported mistakes. He shrugged and said, "Yeah, give me a second." We pulled up the first example, the shipment report. According to the log, the numbers had been changed about an hour after my shift ended, and the username attached to that edit was Mark. So we checked the next report. Same thing, edited after my shift by Mark. Then the next one, and the next one. Every single mistake management had heard about was actually created after I finished the work. And every single edit came from Mark's account. He had been going into the system after I completed reports, changing numbers, creating errors, then reporting those errors to management, trying to make it look like I was incompetent. It was honestly one of the most ridiculous setups I had ever seen, but the evidence was crystal clear. So the next morning, I walked into my manager's office with screenshots of the logs. We went through them together, one by one, timestamp, username, edit history. You could literally see the moment I finished my work and then the moment Mark changed it. My manager leaned back in his chair and just stared at the screen. Then he sighed. "All right," he said, "let's call Mark in." A few minutes later, Mark walked into the office, and he looked confident, almost smug, like he expected to hear good news. My manager rotated the monitor toward him, then calmly asked, "Do you want to explain why every error you reported was created by your account?" Mark's expression changed instantly. You could literally see the panic hit his face. He started stumbling through excuses. "Maybe someone used my login. Maybe the system glitched. Maybe it happened during training." None of it made any sense. The timestamps proved everything. Eventually, he just stopped talking. Later that afternoon, Stand A escorted him out of the building. 2 weeks after he got the job I helped him get. And the craziest part? As he walked past me on the way out, he looked angry, like I had betrayed him. He stopped and said, "You didn't have to snitch on me." I just stared at him. Because somehow, in his mind, I was the villain. Ending question for viewers. If someone you helped get a job tried to sabotage you like that, would you expose them immediately or try to deal with it privately?